Hello my keto peeps, it's Samaya and welcome back to my channel, I Don't Sugarcoat. Today, I'm going to show you guys how I make keto corn flour tortillas. So let's get started. Before we begin, today's video is sponsored by Wholesome Provision and Lupin for Life. You guys know that I adore both of these companies. And for someone like me who is dedicated to eating better, it is so important that I'm able to find companies that specialize in that. Wholesome Provision has a whole host of products on their website that is dedicated to the low-carb eater. You can find all types of stuff, things for baking, pre-made stuff, and so much more. Lupins for Life, as you can tell by the name of their company, specializes in lupins. And you guys know how much I love lupins. I love all types of lupin products, and that is what drew me to this company. I especially love their Lupin Semolina, but they have so much more than that. They have Lupin Flour, Lupin Kibble and Crumb, and Lupin Flakes. And I've used all of them in several recipes that I haven't even gotten to share with you guys just yet. I love this company's message and I love their mission to a healthier way of eating. I'm going to share the links to both of these companies' website in the description of today's video. Now let's jump into this recipe. Okay, so I titled this video Keto Corn Flour Tortillas, but obviously we can't use anything with corn in it because corn is way too high in carb. So what I'm going to be doing is putting together a couple ingredients that will kind of mimic masa, which is what traditional corn tortillas are made from. So I'm going to be using my food processor here today, but you can use a bowl and like a wooden spoon or something to do this with. It's just, you know, it's going to take a little bit more elbow grease to do it. But if you have a food processor, I highly recommend using that because it just makes the job easier. Okay, so to get this recipe going, it is very simple, you guys, really simple. We're just going to be using 192 grams of some Lupin flour. So in case you guys didn't see me talking about it before, I'm going to be using grams for all my recipes going forward, just to be able to give you guys an accurate measurement to try to help those who are struggling with some of my recipes. Hopefully by doing this, it will help you guys to be able to have more success when making these recipes. So if you don't have a kitchen scale, I highly suggest getting one. You can get one fairly cheap, and I will leave some links to some in the description of today's video. Now to this, I'm going to be adding 78 grams of some Lupin Semolina. And you guys know how much I love Lupin Semolina. Oh my gosh. So we're going to be adding that, and I'm going to give this a few pulses just to get this blended together. All right. So now I'm going to be adding in 1 teaspoon of some sweet corn extract, just to kind of give it a corn flavor. You can add as much or as little as you want, or you can not add it at all. I will leave that entirely up to you. Now to this, we're going to need to add some hot water. You can heat it up in the microwave or, you know, boil some on the stove. Now when it comes to adding water to this, I don't have an exact measurement because every time I try to nail down one, I usually get a different texture every time. So now I've stopped trying to add the water in one lump sum, and I start adding it in little by little. What I'm looking for is for the texture of this to be like Play-Doh. I don't want it to be sticky at all, just nice and soft. So I will give you guys, you know, I'll let you know how much I put in here, but just kind of use that measurement as a baseline and still add in the water slowly until you get to the right texture. Okay, so this is perfect. It has just formed a ball, and that's exactly how I want it. So I'm going to go ahead and get this out of here, and I'm going to put it onto some saran wrap, and I'm going to let this sit for about 30 minutes just to let the dough relax a little bit. I put about 30 tablespoons of water in here, and that's pretty much around what I usually get, somewhere between 28 and 32 tablespoons of water. It just kind of depends, which is why I said you're gonna really wanna measure this out tablespoon by tablespoon, just to make sure you're not getting too much water in there. So now that it's done, I'm gonna go ahead, and it will feel just a little sticky sometimes. Like this feels just a little sticky, but once it's sit, it won't be as sticky. 29 tablespoons of water was not enough to get it to form a ball of dough. So I had to put in that additional tablespoon. So the dough feels a little sticky, but after about 30 minutes, it'll be less sticky feeling. So I'm gonna go ahead and let this rest. And then we will come back and get these all shaped, and then we're gonna cook them, and I'll show you what we have when they're done. Okay, so I weighed my dough, I rolled it all out into 10 equal balls. I'm gonna show you though just what the dough looks like. I didn't wanna have to do all that on camera, so I figured I would just save one piece just so you can see what the dough looks like. It should look about this texture right here. As you can see, it is soft, but it is not sticky. And that's really what we're looking for with this. We don't want it to be sticky at all. And so now you just wanna roll it into a ball. And now I'm gonna place this between two pieces of parchment paper, and then I'm gonna flatten it out with my tortilla press here, and then we're gonna start cooking these up. Now these are some papers that I order off of Amazon. I really love these. They're already pre-shaped and everything. I just love these. I don't think I would want to do it any other way, but you can obviously just take some parchment paper that comes in the box and just tear it off and just use it however you need to. But I will try to see if I can find these because it's been a while since I bought them. I'll see if I can leave a link for these just in case you're interested. But these fit perfectly onto my tortilla press here, which is a 10-inch. And what I normally do when I'm making stuff with Lupin Flour like when I do it with this, because Lupin Flour tends to be stickier than what regular flour is, I always oil my parchment paper. And that's just so it makes it really easy to come off. I am so sorry if you can hear my dishwasher going right now. I don't know if you can, but if you can hear the dishwasher, sorry about that. Okay, so I spray the top piece as well, and then I'm gonna go ahead and start cooking this. And now you don't wanna press this too hard. You just wanna give it a nice little press all the way down, because you don't want to I don't know, maybe over expand it. I don't know what it is. You just don't want to over press it, because then it'll press out too far. You'll end up with some thin spots, some uneven edges. Some will be thinner than others, things like that. So I try to make sure that I don't apply too much pressure. I just apply a nice even amount until it's nice and flat against it. And then I give it a little bit of a turn, and I do it one more time, just applying a nice gentle even amount of pressure to it, so that way it's pressed out really nice and neat. And you're going to end up with something, if you can see, about this shape. I don't know if you can see it from the front camera, but hopefully you can see it from up above. But I'm going to show you what this looks like in just a second. Okay, so I have a non-stick skillet here heating, and I typically like to do it in this. I see the most success with the non-stick, so I usually only do my tortillas in there. And so you're just really going to want to peel the paper off. And what I like to do is I like to place it onto my hand and peel that top layer off. It peels off really easy, which is why I like to oil it. And then I just flip it into the pan like so. And this pan is probably heated to maybe medium low, something like that. You don't want it to be too high as these cook up. And we're just gonna let this cook for a couple minutes each side. And then I like to put them into this here, and that helps to keep them nice and warm, but it also helps them to, it helps with them becoming more pliable. once it sits in there and it has that nice steam going, and I just let them sit for like an hour or so, and they're perfect every time. So I'm gonna go ahead and cook this, and I will show you what it looks like when it comes out. Okay, so I've gone ahead and cooked all the rest of them already. This is the final one, and I just wanted to go ahead and get these done and out of the way because I wanted to kind of show you what it looks like once they're sitting in here steaming. And so once you flip it, you're not going to cook it as long as you would cook it on the when you first put it in. When you first put it in, you're going to want to cook it 2 to 3 minutes depending on how high your heat is. And then once it's going right here, you're going to want to cook it for 1 to 1.5 minutes. You can kind of sort of tell about when it's ready to come out. When you first flip it over, the edges of the tortilla are kind of curled up a little bit, just slightly up, not flat against the pan. And as it starts to cook, it will flatten all the way out, and it'll be flat against the pan like so. And so I'm gonna be taking this out in a second. Now, in my container here, I have a wet paper towel that I cover them with, and this helps to steam, helps create that steam inside of here with these tortillas. Okay, so this one is done, and I'm going to go ahead and take that out and place that in here. But I'm going to show you some of the other ones that are further down now that they are done. Okay, so as I don't know if you can see, but when I took the lid off, there was steam coming out of here, and it was nice and I don't want to say smoke, it's not smoke, but it's just the steam coming out of here. And so I really love that, and I'm going to have to hurry up and get this lid put back on here. But I do want to show you what some further down look like. And like I said, I usually let these sit in here for about an hour or two to completely get really soft and really pliable. And these are still really, really warm. As you can see, the steam coming off of it. So it's already pretty pliable as is now, but I like it to sit in there and get to the point that's about room temperature, and these will be super, super pliable, super floppy, all that type of stuff. And so this is pretty much it, you guys. These are keto corn tortillas, and these are just absolutely perfect for whatever you need to use them for. They're gonna hold really well. They're gonna roll up really well. I don't wanna keep messing with this one because it's not quite to that, that state that I like it, but I will tell you, just let them sit steaming like that for about an hour or two, depending on what you're gonna do with it. So that is gonna be it for today's video. I'm not gonna do anything with these on this video. I'm not gonna try them or anything because I have plans for these. So I don't wanna take anything off of them because you will see these in another video. So I don't wanna mess with these or mess them up. But yes, that is it. They look absolutely great, absolutely fabulous, you guys. I love these. They work so perfectly for so many things. So I'm gonna put them back in here and let these sit and finish doing what they're doing. And then you will see how I use these in another video. Obviously, you can use them for whatever you would want to use or tortilla or corn tortilla for. You can use them for whatever you want. I'm just gonna show you how a couple of ways that I like to use these. So that is gonna be it for me today, you guys. Yeah, it feels a little weird because I don't have, like, I'm not trying anything or anything like that. I don't have anything else to say. So I guess we're gonna go ahead and get this one wrapped up. If you guys like this video, hit that like button for me. And if you're new here, don't forget to click that subscribe button, and don't forget to ding that little bell so you can get notifications every time I upload a new video. And until next time, you guys, bye.